Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Fabulous. Three, two, one, and we're live with another edition of Notes on the News on Channel B Fabulous You. I'm Angela. Welcome, 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 welcome. Like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that notifications bell, and all of those other wonderful things that you do. We're working on 1,000. Yay! Thanks for the likes. Welcome in the chat, whoever you are. Um, Dang, what do we do next? We go right into, hey, Rottweiler, Habaragani. Is that how it works? Habaragani. Habaragani. What was yesterday? What was yesterday? Oh, Kuumba. Hey, Kendra. Hi, IC. Thank you. It's a beautiful hot day here. Okay, so Kuumba was yesterday, so that means that today is Imani, faith. Habaragani, when I say Habaragani, you say Imani, Habaragani, Imani, Habaragani, Imani. Or is it Imani? Imani, Habaragani, Imani, Habaragani. All right, Imani, faith. To believe with all our hearts in our parents, our teachers, our leaders, our people, and the righteousness and victory of our struggle. It's spelled with an I. So is that Imani, not Imani? But I always say Mama Imani. Oh, I guess I say Imani. Yeah. Okay. So to believe with all our hearts in our parents, our teachers, our leaders, our people, and the righteousness and victory of our struggle. The righteousness and victory of our struggle. I guess that's just been resonating with me here recently. The righteousness and the victory of our struggle. Imani, practice Imani every day. How do you practice faith? How do you practice believing in something? How do you do that? Hmm. These are the questions. How you do Imani? All right, let's see what the Buddha has to say. Yo, Buddha, what up though? If it's anything. May all creatures, all living things, all beings one and all experience good fortune only. May they not fall into harm. Oh, that's just sweet. That cardinal is back. I wonder if the cardinal come over here for me, or does it come when I'm not here? Yes, the moment. Yes, yes, the moments we've all been waiting for. Ashe, 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 ashe. Hey, COG. May all creatures, all living things, all beings, one and all, experience good fortune only. May they not fall into harm. So I'm here for that. May all beings be happy. May all beings be happy. May all beings share in my happiness. May all beings, near and far, human and non human, crawling, flying, two-legged, four-legged, no-legged, multi-legged. May all beings be happy. I'm trying to sound like Goenka. Y'all don't know Goenka G, do you? Okay, so anyway, let us proceed with the notes on the news feed. Oh, what's new and good? What's new and good? What's new and good in your personal life? What's new and good in your family? Uh, Greetings. Bonafide, thank you for the flower. What's new and good with your family? What's new and good in your community? What's new and good in the world? What's up? All right. So let's jump in. Just drop it in the commentary. Um, Bill Cosby, Habaragani, Imani. Oh, I should have let the chat answer. I'll shut up. Next time I'm not gonna say anything. Is it Imani? Did we say that? Yeah, we talked about Imani. Okay. Imani. Okay. Bill Cosby, same old, same old. Right. Imani, faith. Yay. It's not the same old, same old. It's a whole new day. You have whole new breath in your body. It's whole new air out there, new sun, new everything. Everything is new. Nothing is old. Everything is new and renewed. Bill Cosby fires entire legal team after sex assault conviction. Chase Becky home. UAE reinforcements in Eritrea ready to join Hudaya battle. So the only reason I looked at the article is because it's had Eritrea, and we were talking about Eritrea yesterday. We were talking about the fact that I guess by Eritrea breaking off from Ethiopia. Ethiopia is landlocked, and Eritrea, I guess, is on the water. I guess Eritrea is like a strategic place or something. But anyway, that's the only reason I clicked on it. I'm like UAE, United Arab Emirates, to join the Hudaya battle. Hey, Marlo's Corner, I have a boxing story. Yeah, I read the article and I skimmed the article and I was just like, I just, I don't know. I don't know. I just couldn't really follow what was going on, who the players were. It was just, yeah. But anyway, I'll just read the headline and maybe it'll mean something to you. Again, UAE reinforcements in Eritrea ready to join Hudaya battle. Also, this had something to do with what's the restaurant? Spence for the Win. Spence. Who is Spence? The restaurant here, Yemen. It has something to do with Yemen. It's so embarrassing to be just so ignorant about so many things. I don't know if it's embarrassing or not. Oh, he's a boxer. Oh no, it's not about him. It's like an old school boxer or something. Funmilayo, looking fabulous. Shoulders up. Thank you. It's a scarf, girl. Bonafide fam. Thank you. Hey. Funmilayo. Ransom Kuti, influential woman of African politics and first woman to drive a car in Nigeria. I wonder. First woman to drive a car in Nigeria. When I was practicing saying her name, I could get it. Now it's just like my tongue is just stumbling over it. Funmilayo. A stomach virus. Oh, feel better. I'm sorry to hear that. Okay. Trump's 2020 campaign is secretly working with a company run by former Cambridge Analytica employees. Trump's China tariffs turn Congress on its head as Democrats cheer, yay, and GOP slams the move. Oh, the GOP can slam something that Zero does? There's Bella. Oh, she's in the house. When it came time to come out, she was on some other mission. She came downstairs. Unintentional detox. Yes, that's how God won't God do it. It's an unintentional detox. So I'm surprised that the GOP can slam anything that Zero does. I guess I've never really been into national politics, and this is Hot Springs official resigns after insensitive remark to Black resident. Okay, so the first thing I'm like, Hot Springs, where is that at? Do they have a hot springs there? Is it somewhere where I can go and like get into some water that's healing water? The second thing is the official resigned after a remark to a Black resident. So apparently, or I think that these people lived in the same housing community, and the person said, "You don't live here." I think that was like the nature of their insensitive remark. I don't know if they said anything else, but they kind of knew the person lived there. He needs to watch his step with China. He's a clone. I guess he don't have to worry about watching his step. I guess. I didn't get no satisfaction during the North Korea Trump summit. I thought I was going to see. I can't say that on the air, I don't think. If you follow politics, you'll see that there's nothing new. There's nothing new. The media is doing some social engineering to play on our emotions. Okay, nothing new. It's the same old stuff. Yeah, because I think if you look historically, we've had, I mean, it's just been he needs to watch his clone foot with China then. His clone foot, his step, his clone foot. The clones care. They ain't got no worries, do they? Yeah, it's the same old, same old. And then we get all like worked up and excited over stuff that's not really, it ain't really nothing new. It's the same old, right? So it's no sense in really getting drawn into it or engaged. You're right. It's emotional manipulation. And then the other thing is that this Hot Springs official, I think that he got fired, or I think he got fired from his last job for saying something racially insensitive or whatever. Same stuff, different day. Did you speak on the boxing yet? No. Are you in and out trying to catch it? It's just a headline about some old boxer. It was something like somebody who you thought was the first. Hey, Frank G. Somebody who you thought was the first wasn't the first, and this one something I don't know. Because I didn't even think it. I didn't know who the first was, so I don't know. World Cup 2018, Iran beat Morocco to win first World Cup finals tie in 20 years. I was rooting for Morocco, I guess, because it's in Africa. I don't really have any. I don't. I would root for Morocco. So I guess I'm sad, not deeply sad, but casually sad. Who are we rooting for? Who are we rooting for next? Who's our team? Who? Iran is in Africa. Oh, is it? Is that the Middle East? The Middle East is like the fake place, right? Don't try this at home. Someone parked in front of a fire hydrant and things didn't go well. So this, I don't know if we're going to get the image, but oh, I'll have to look on a map. I got a good map in the house. I'm going to look in it when I go in. I keep meaning to bring it out, but it would be boring to see somebody looking at a map. Jack Johnson was the first black heavyweight champion. I don't think it was heavyweight. But maybe I'll just, if you want me to just drop it on your channel, you like, I don't want to stay here for all of this news to get one little piece of boxing information that I probably already know. The image didn't come up. But anyway, somebody was parked in front of a fire hydrant and they took the fire hydrant and it went through this window and out through that window, I guess because they were in the way of them trying to fight the fire. No, I'm sorry. I got time. Today I got time today, hey, King Wage, today I got time. But I'm like, it seemed like it would be hard breaking the windows. Wouldn't it just be easier to go over the top of the car? But it was an interesting image. It was coming off of Yahoo, I think. Oh, Google. Where are they now? The players from Kobe Bryant's legendary 1996 NBA draft. Again, the imagery was really interesting. He invented the wrench. Get out of here. The imagery was really interesting because Kobe Bryant, he looked like he was probably like about 16 or 18 and he looked about 16 or 18. It's like, oh my God, he's so young. Because didn't he get drafted when he was wasn't it like he was going to go to college or to the NBA and he was young. I mean, of course he was, but when you see the picture, you're like, whoa. A woman says a white man tried to kick her family out of a hotel pool because of their dirty black skin. It was called the what? So we got a couple of headlines on this story. I haven't read the story. I haven't seen it. But I did see a little bit of footage from the Waffle House incident. And I think it's the same incident where they said it was a dispute over $1, although it seemed like the dispute was more. It seemed like it was like they thought that their bill should be 18, the people were charging them 26. But what was interesting to me about the footage was that, and this was from the police person's perspective. So when the footage started, you were in the police car, I think. And then, but it was like all of the people who I could see sitting in the Waffle House were white. The people who were working were white. The cops who seemed to be there were white. The only folks that I saw who were black or brown were the people who were, I guess they're trying to give Waffle House their money. And Waffle House employees was like, I'm going to charge you what I want to charge you. Don't question me. Don't ask me no questions, Negro, or I'm going to call the police on you, which they did. And then the police monkey wrench. Since I learned about that, I completely abandoned that term. I was not aware of its racist connotation. Yeah, it's funny how things just kind of there. You just be a part of it and you don't even realize it. Like it's just so much a part of the language, the culture, the society. You're participating in things that are anti-you and we don't know them. I got tributes of him and a few more boxers of our people. Oh, on your channel. Oh, okay, Marlowe's Corner. Dr. Seuss. Yeah, it's like it's a lot of things. It's like the more you know, the more, I guess this idea of like separating and withdrawing, it makes more and more sense because the very fiber, the very air is like, filled with built on, dogging us out, tearing us down, exploiting us, taking advantage of us. Like it's not for us. And it's kind of like, yeah, every day you learn something new, you'd be like, oh no, or oh yeah, I guess it's good. Knowledge is power. History is a lie. So they tried to kick her out of the pool because of the dirty black skin. I think the first thing I heard is they asked if the daughter had taken a bath. What are your thoughts about his posthumous posthumous? Oh, I knew. I'm like, it's not posthumous, posthumous. And I finally catch you, Queen. Hey, welcome on the chat. So yeah, it's kind of like when you travel, are you able to find black hotels everywhere you go? If like it's just kind of like this idea of not patronizing them it's starting to get like complicated to me. Like I guess when I first thought about it, I'm like, well, just stop going to white places. And then I'm kind of like, it can kind of create some challenges. I don't know why. And then at the Waffle House footage, it was interesting too, because it seemed like, even though I think it was like at 2 or 3 in the morning, the people who were there, they just seemed like they were like there in the middle of the day, the white people, and they were just watching or not watching or ignoring what was going on, just real casual. It was just weird. So anyway, yeah, it's some incident at a hotel that happened with a black family. U.S. government finds new malware from North Korea. So all while Zero is like, yeah, North Korea is cool. I salute you and all of your, good works holding people down over there. Oh, I saw an interesting story about North Korea and black folks back in the day. And how during the Korean War he was put away for the most crazy law, should have been that he was, that North Korea back in the day during the Korean War. And I'm like, I have to learn more about it. That I had heard about this pamphleteering, like giving pamphlets out to like black soldiers being like, why y'all here fighting us? We all fighting against the man. Don't fight us. We all brothers, or something to that effect. So I saw a little piece that was kind of talking a little bit about that. Because somebody was like, North Korea, don't buy into the propaganda, Angela. And I was like, I don't know. But anyway, when I saw this about the malware, so there's some new malware that's, been discovered or delivered from North Korea. And the first thing I thought, which, I'm like, y'all remember that unusually large envelope that someone from North Korea gave Trump? And he was like, they were holding it in a photo. I'm like, that was probably full of malware. Malware doesn't come in envelopes. Maybe it come in big oversized envelopes. I don't know. This may be the new delivery system, because we knew something was wrong with that. Something was strange. Tammy Roman hits back at haters for deeming her a crackhead after her new look. Now, people were saying she was getting slimmer. I didn't know. I'm being silly when I say that. I still can't figure out, if I was rich, I would buy waffle. All my people would get a waffle maker. Sister Angela, what are your thoughts about the rewriting of the Green Book? I'm all in favor of it. I don't know if you need to call it the Green Book, but I think we need to, like we had the Black Yellow Pages, I think we need to know who our people are, where they are, how to get in touch with them when we're moving about the world, who's friend and foe, how to connect with people. along with the Black Book. Yeah, the big black yellow pages, we used to call it here, for black owned businesses. I'm all in favor of that, but we have digital versions of those things. No, you think? What do you think? Just don't send your DNA. Why do they keep us out of history? Because it's not to their, that's not part of their narrative. Their part, what they want to advance is this idea that we ain't shit, we ain't done shit, we can't do shit, never will be shit. The only shit we have is because they that was kind enough to drag us out of backwards ass Africa and help our asses out. So, if not for them, I'm all in favor of it as well. So no, it's not to their advantage to talk about what we've done that's, they trying to advance this agenda and make us feel like, thank God for the white people. I hope they save us. They don't want to admit that Yah's black. They are beyond lame with the rhesus movement. Ooh, I've heard of rhesus monkeys. I don't know about the rhesus movement. So Tammy Roman, I had heard people saying she was getting slim. I didn't necessarily notice it. And when she cut her hair, I thought it was very flattering on her. Like it looked more like natural, like fitting her bone structure, and like she looked nice to me. But people are saying she's I guess she's getting some crackhead feedback, and she's basically saying that she was fighting with diabetes, and so when she decided that she wants to take better care of herself, that's why she looks like that. And I felt she looked good. Does she look bad? What's wrong with the child? She looked good. She needs to leave them cigarettes alone too, but I'm glad I hope she's not just taking drugs for diabetes, but has shifted her diet and what she's eating. And I think that's what she's saying. That's why she's losing weight, eating probably less sugar, less white potatoes, less white rice, less white bread, less white pasta, less refined white sugar. She probably, so I don't know. I didn't know people were saying she looked like a crackhead. Who says crackhead? This is 2018, not 1996. Paul Manafort jailed by judge for alleged witness tampering. AT&T's $85 billion acquisition of Time Warner is complete. University of Chicago to stop require SAT scores for many applicants. That's a Atlanta Black Star headline. They might have meant requiring, to stop requiring SAT scores for many applicants. So they said that that's the first research university to do that. What? Shonda Rhimes takes on New York City grifter Anna Delvey's story for her first Netflix project. They leave us out of his story because it would be devastatingly calamitous for their self-esteem. Yeah, I guess. But they still seem pretty jacked up and insecure. If this is them pumped up, I'd hate to see them beat down. I don't know. I know for a minute I watched his story. For a minute I watched one of those Shonda Lamb shows. Everything white has been chemically tampered. It's funny how society makes it seem as if everything white is good. Right, even in the language, it's very funny. And when you, like we were talking earlier, it's like as you have consciousness of stuff, it's kind of like, oh, I'm in a black hole. Oh, I'm in a dark place. Oh, and it's kind of like, well, shit, maybe a dark place is a good place. Like, why is it I got to be like, I'm in a dark place? I'm like, I'm in a dark place. Yes, dark place. Yes, dark people. Yes, dark sun. It's like, but it's the language contributes to how we think and how we process stuff in lots and lots of ways that all of it, the language, the culture, media, is a lot of stuff, and we're just a part of it without even realizing it. And then it's sort of like, there are some things that just in life you can't. If you were to just question everything, you would spend your whole life questioning everything. Like, part of conversation, part of life is that you just take some things as given, except that we can't take stuff as given, because the stuff we take as given is some BS. So it's like, I don't know how we progress and at the same time, deconstruct and start to or continue. I shouldn't even say start, because we've been talking about it, but continue to break the ties with the Quest Eon. Ooh, eon, like eons, like ages. Um, ooh, Imani. Oh, faith, faith. To believe in the righteousness and victory of our struggle. We believe in the righteousness and victory of our struggle. So, how do we practice Imani? How do we practice faith? How do we, practically and pragmatically incorporate that into, our daily lives, into our conversations? You were probably given a hint right there, and they might have gone over my head. I praise and pray daily. Praise and pray daily. Praise and pray daily. Yes, question, ask questions. I was. It went over my head. When I look back sometimes on the videos, we practice faith with action. When I look back sometimes on the videos, I see where I start a thought and then get distracted and never finish it. But I like say when I watch it, I'm like, what I was going to say is, hey, already be fresh, but then it's too late because the moment has passed. But y'all might be able to like with the, just follow the, or you might be like, what the hell is going on? She all over the daggone place. Yeah, I lost my place. Artie. So I watched one Shonda Rhimes show for a minute, and then it kind of started getting on my nerves. Like it was like, I don't know. I just wasn't into it anymore. So I don't know. Speed bullet reports, the best kinds. So then I was, so I don't know how I feel about this story about a black grifter. Like that's like a hustler. That's somebody who pretended, I guess this person pretended to be like German royalty, I guess, in order to like try to get money off of people or to be in influential or be in certain circles or whatever. I'm not really sure what the oh, maybe I could let the windows down. So I'm not really sure why, why, I don't know. But anyway, that's what's going on. Kilauea volcano, that's the volcano in Hawaii. Molten, ooh, it's nice. You feel that breeze? Molten lava meets the sea, and that image was really interesting. And it's also interesting just the pace of this volcano. I'm like just fascinated because it's been going on for like 2 or 3 weeks, right? That's a long time. I would think a volcano erupts and then that's the end. But then didn't I say I Googled it and there were two types of volcanoes? The one that happens like suddenly and quickly, and then the one that's like more slow. It's going to stop over a month. It's not going to stop over a month. Wow. It's making a new hole for itself, a new home for itself. And then also this idea of thinking about things as alive, like, how plants turn. I mean, like plants are alive, of course, but like how plants turn to face the sun, how the volcano, hey, waffling and chewing nanas, how the volcano is making a new home for itself. Like these things that we don't think of as having like a will or like intentions or, like Hawaii is redefining itself. Yeah, like the earth and like things are like, it's like a conversation. It's like it's yeah. I don't know. Here's somebody jogging down the street. In the end, the geothermal plans, fracking practices need to be evaluated. Need to be evaluated. It need to be exterminated. Fracking? Hey, the underrated darkness. Now that's weird. It seemed like somebody said hi to you before, and then your comment comes next. Good afternoon to the chat. Maybe you had already said something that I missed. Okay. Um, so that imagery of the lava meeting the sea was interesting. Um, Canadian clarinet player sues ex for deleting his scholarship offer. I don't know if we talked about it yesterday because I did come back and I picked the stream yesterday, but I don't think it recorded. So I actually finished the show, but I was just by myself. But this Canadian clarinet, Joe the Jogger, got me real heated. Is Joe the jogger the one who was throwing away the man's stuff into the water and then he got arrested for something else? We can't let this stuff heat us now. Um, I said, hey, but you must have missed it. Oh, hey, King. Hey, King. Hey. Um, so this, yes, okay. Yeah, I haven't been following it closely. I guess that's why yeah, because I can't, I'm trying not, yeah, I gotta stay productive. And like I feel like some of this stuff, just like we were talking earlier about stuff, like we were talking about politics designed to like draw you into a false, like it manipulate your emotions, and you're like, and it's hard to be productive, and it's hard to stay focused on building and on doing what we need to do and on just regular life when we get drawn into stuff. And it's how do you balance out being aware of what's going on but still not being like unhealthily drawn into something you know and I'm kind of I get kind of like, I don't have a good tolerance for, so I haven't read, I've just kind of casually, been following the story. Um, so this Canadian clarinet player had applied to go to schools, colleges, or whatever, had gotten into a really good school, and his girlfriend didn't want him to leave. A jive turkey and a live turkey. Oops, I did miss something. Hit the like button. Yay! Hit the like button, hit the notifications bell, comment, share, subscribe. Um, So she did something with the email because she was like, I guess she like, I don't want you. She wanted him all to herself. So he thought he hadn't gotten into school. He had gotten into school. And so his whole life has been altered and shifted and changed. So he's suing her now. That's pretty selfish. It's sad. It's really sad. We have to learn to love in a way that's like healthy and productive. And I know I feel bad for the homeless in general, especially those of our brothers and sisters who are homeless. Right. And I feel like really the homeless, I feel like it's us, because I feel like there, but for the grace of God goes any of us. When you look at, and it's an article that we'll talk about, well, we might not get to talk about it, but so many of us, it's like theoretically you're supposed to spend like 25% of your income on housing, but so many of us are spending 50, 60 more percentage of our income on housing. And so you get into a position, it's easy to like slip off, into where even people who work, there are people who are working who are homeless, so like we have this idea in our head a lot of times, or I should say, of like the homeless is like, oh, and it's like it's any of us. It could be any of us. It could be people that who really don't have a place to stay, who are living in their car, who are like it's just like we're all so precarious. And sometimes I look at the people like, people will have signs out, and the other day I was driving by and some people were like sleeping outside. It was like a man and a woman, and it's like, I mean, to me that could be anybody. Yep, even professors in colleges living out of their cars. And then the breaking of the unions and the breaking of like everybody's income has gone down, or so many people's income has gone down. Unless you're part of the 1%, it's just more and more challenging and more difficult, you know are just a paycheck away from homelessness, right? Yep. And some people who got paychecks are still hungry. I mean, it's like it's crazy. But ask the government and everything is great, right? It's there's a lot going on, and a lot of times what's going on for people, you don't know that that's going on for them, because we're being increasingly trained to be very embarrassed about, it's so many people who are experiencing the same thing. I don't know where Sonia is. I'm sorry. It's so many people who are experiencing the same thing, but we don't know it. We don't know what each other is going through, and we're embarrassed to talk about what's really going on and what we're really experiencing. Have driven down wages. I don't think it's the illegal immigrants. I think it's the 1%. I think they're taking a greater percentage of everything and paying less. Their profit is going up and they're paying people less. I think the whole narrative of the illegal immigrants is like pitting, the poor against the poor. And I think it's some bull. Incomes have remained stagnant or gone down while the cost of living keeps going up. And the profit margin is going up. Right, it's the elite. Yeah, I think we have to I feel like even if I don't know the details just on GP, if I'm going to like blame somebody, I'm going to try not to blame. I'm going to try to blame them just on general principle. The general principle of blame nation is blame them. They finally admitting that they turned Walmart into a holding center, a licensed shelter, girl, on TV to hold them. Yeah. Um, yeah. Okay, let me keep going. Eurydice. I don't know how to pronounce that. Dixon. Comedians killing prompts anger in Australia. So this child was like 19, 22. She got raped and murdered, and so people are upset about that. I just think that raping and murdering people is upsetting. I mean, that's all. I mean, rest in peace to her. Upskirting will become a criminal offense in the UK. Do people know what upskirting is? I don't know what Alex Jones said. It's barbaric. It's barbaric. It's inhumane. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. So upskirting is no, what is it? Upskirting is when you take a camera and you put it like the camera is like this facing upwards, and you put it so that you can look up somebody's skirt and take a picture of their behind, panties, vagina, their private underskirted areas or underpants areas. And I saw a thing, a video probably about maybe a year ago, about this happening in Asia. Like people would be on the yeah, it's literally what it is. People would be on the escalator and you wouldn't know, and somebody was filming you. And it's not it hasn't technically been a crime, I guess. So now it's becoming a criminal offense in the UK. And I'm surprised that it's like so common. I guess just this idea of like the disrespect, like, you know, like I'm not a human being, like you're not going to ask my permission, you just treat me like I'm a tree and take a picture of me without my permission. I mean, like, it's just like it's so disrespectful. I don't really have like the language. I don't know why these people are parked behind me. Violation, but sometimes I feel like dressing rooms are watching me. Yeah, they used to have cameras in dressing rooms, they probably still do. Sexual harassment, sickness, all of that. Horn dogs, that's nuts. So it's becoming a criminal offense in the UK. People put cameras in all kinds of, yeah. Google establishing first African artificial intelligence, politically upskirted by Kim Jong Un. Dang. I can't even catch that. Catch that tea. No doubt cams in dressing rooms before. Yeah. Now that's another thing. I gotta write that down, but I didn't write it down. Zero is being politically upskirted by Kim Jong Un. Okay, I might remember that. I have to think about it when I can think. I can't think and read and chat and all of that at the same time. You're asking too much. This cardinal is fascinating. I need to have a camera out here to watch this car all day. I guess the cardinal live in this neighborhood. His nest is probably someplace around here. But this cardinal, I only see the one. I never see the other one. And I was told that cardinals travel in pairs, so maybe this is a single cardinal. Oh, maybe it thinks that this couple is the what do you want from me? What more do you want from me? Maybe the cardinal thinks that its couple is like in the mirror. Like maybe this is like a narcissist cardinal, and it just comes and looks in the mirror, and it's like, oh, you are so wonderful, my partner for life. I love you, and that's why it's always over here in the mirror. Yeah. Okay. Google is establishing first African um, artificial intelligence research center in Ghana. Jada Pinkett Smith said she wouldn't let Jaden attend sleepovers for fear of molestation. Has anybody the molestation type experiences that I've had, the molestation experiences that I've had were not in other people's houses. They were in my house, with, there was a whole bunch of kids, cousins, and, play brothers and sisters and the neighbors. The cardinal ain't even looking at me. The cardinal is looking at itself in the mirror, the rear view mirror. So no, it's not drawn by me. um, so I can kind of understand in a way the concept of not, you're with Jada Pinkett Smith on that one, of when the children are away and it's adults around and you don't know who those adults are and where they're coming from. It's not really a safe, you don't know what type of environment it is, safe or unsafe. And then I also wonder when I think about, like, if a child, if it's like a 14-year-old and an 8-year-old, is that molestation? If it's a 10-year-old and a 3-year, like, I don't know, when children are exploring kids or molesting kids nowadays, is that molestation or is that children exploring their sexuality? I'm kind of confused by that. I feel like if you're like a 16-year-old and it's a 4-year-old, it's clearly something, or if you're like 20 and the person is, 14, or if you're 40 and the person is 16, but when when they're children and close in age, I don't, I'm kind of, I'd have to think more about it. Um, God, not good. Yeah. Um, yeah. So, just kind of like, how many people have experienced being molested, sleeping away. And because the impression that I get is that most of, a lot of crimes and stuff are committed by people close to you, like not so much the strangers, but your uncle, cousin, brother of daddy, somebody in your house. They are mimicking behavior they have seen or experienced. This is the reason why I don't want kids, for this reason and worse. Yeah. I mean, I feel like sexual exploration is actually normal, and so it's sort of like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's it seems like it depends on the type of exploration, you know? Um, yeah. LOL, Transformer. Is that what he had in the kitchen? Yeah. Okay. So anyway, moving on. But anyway, what I also wanted to say is Jada Pinkett Smith. I guess that this Red Table Talks is a yeah, I think I saw that picture. Um the Red Table Talks, I guess, is a Facebook thing now, and she's just staying, it's like every other day she's in the headlines. I work with sex offenders and it changed the way I see the world. What about your legacy? Yeah. And is children the only way to have a legacy? Can you have a legacy without having a child or children? And I think it's an interesting question. And then there is nothing like children. Your children. Russia proposes raising retirement age above life expectancy. So the life expectancy for a man, I think in Russia is like 62. And now they like want to raise. Oh, so I guess the World Cup is happening in Russia. And the people are like, oh, while the World Cup is going on, now you want to, while we distracted celebrating the World Cup, you want to raise the retirement age to 65. How many of us are going to live to see 65? Like, it's like a old, dang, what is our 72, our retirement age? It's going up and up and up, isn't it, every year? Hopefully I will. So I don't know what the life expectancy is in this country, or the retirement age, but a lot of people, by the time they retire, they making a transition, more or less. That's the impression I get. Your legacy can be your good works that persevere long after you transition. Yeah. Watam or Wadam is a wonderfully weird game about friendship. So this article was saying a lot of video games are violent, but I've played video games that aren't violent, I think. Like, there's this thing, I haven't done it in years, but I used to have this thing on my phone. Excuse me. I think it was called Jules, Bejeweled. And you would like gather up light colors and then you'd hit a button. No, it didn't seem violent to me. Am I missing the violence in that? And then like SimCity, that didn't seem violent to me, but there do seem to be a lot of violent video games, but I guess I don't You know, I don't play it. They are addicting and mind control, the young boys especially. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't played one in a long time, but it used to be on my phone. I used to play them all the time. They're not violent, it's the people. Some people aren't mature enough for certain genres. So this game, they like gather. It's like weird. Like you gather up. Like it, you used to have friends, and then all the friends went away. And so you look at a rock, and if you touch it a certain way, it's like one of your old friends or some weird. And then some things you unlock by everybody. I used to love Tetris, all puzzle, no violence. And then some things you unlock by everybody has to hold hands. I don't know what kind of game this is, but anyway, I just thought it was interesting that they were kind of like advancing this argument that video games are basically violent. War video games are violent, blood, gore, etc. And so I don't know, maybe most video games are violent and like I just don't grab. I don't know if I've ever even played one. Like I've seen footage of like them pulling the heads off of people and but I don't know that I've ever played one of those games that I don't know. I don't think so. It doesn't sound like something. I mean, I put an all-nighter beating Sonic the Hedgehog and Michael Jackson game too. Yeah, I don't know the Michael Jackson game. What a load of crocs. It was a bunch of crocodiles just laying on the water. I get sunbathing on the beach in Australia, I guess. Pakistan Taliban chief Mullah Fazullah, they made it hard for us to retire and all the BS they try to eliminate us, shortening our life expectancy so they can collect our social security. One just ate a lady, a crocodile. The one down in Florida where she was walking her dogs. I've heard that some video games based on war are partially funded by the U.S. military to desensitize you and get you in that mindset. Yes. Oh yeah, we were talking about that the other day. I'm afraid to say anything about Florida because the last couple of days, every time we say something about Florida, one of the Floridian fabulites comes on and say, every time I get on this channel, you dog at my state. So yeah, we talked about yeah, so it was like about 5 or 6 of them. They just laid out on the beach, or it look. I guess it was a beach. It didn't exactly look like a beach. I'm not into FPs. They are BS games and moms. Sister from another mister. Um, targeted by U.S. strike in Afghanistan. Pakistan Taliban chief Mullah Fazullah targeted by U.S. strike in Afghanistan. What's FPs? I don't know. I don't remember what the thing was. I guess there's been a U.S. strike in Afghanistan. First person shooter. Oh, first person shooter. I'm not going to repeat that bona fide 1970. um, but all of this Call of Duty, etc. And don't make me go by Sega Genesis. Um, so all of this attacking people and strikes and war and fighting and battling that the US is doing. I also think these seemingly benign games like Tetris and Bejeweled are a way to gauge mental capacity capabilities. Yeah, I think so. I could see that. Hubert, kangaroo. I remember Donkey Kong. Black woman child attacked by white pool goer. Hey, Yapo, Ayapo, who asked if they'd showered before taking a swim. So we kind of started talking about that story earlier, or I think I might be finished talking about it. And Dig Dug. Oh, Conky Dong? No, Donkey Kong. Dig Dug. I don't know that one. Um, I think I'm finished talking about that. Oh, this was one of my favorite stories. I think every year they must publish this story. So, I never owned a Nintendo. Pole position. What does that mean, pole position? Qbert was the first 3D video game. Oh, there is no other game than Qbert. Nobody even heard of Qbert. And my childhood in one sentence, LOL. Hey, family, glad you could join. Oh, I think I'm showing my age now. Female hair care tycoon who gave Madam C.J. Walker her start. So this story I love because I don't know if it's true or not, but I think that Anybody who has done something has not done it by themselves, and we all stand on the shoulders of our ancestors, and people have helped us along, and we're in conversation with one another. Someone something, we build on it. You can see it especially like in artistic communities, but in other ways we're in conversation with one. In politics, you can see we're in conversation with one another. Although so I like this idea of Madam C.J. Walker not just coming out of nowhere and by herself. Although most credit Madam C.J. Walker as America's first black millionaires, some historians say otherwise. Atari games, but I had that stick tennis. Some historians say otherwise. Inventor and philanthropist Annie Malone has been named as the true first millionaire after inventing a hair care product company. Born Annie Minerva Turnbow on August 9th, 1869. 1869. So that's about 9 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. To escaped slave parents, Malone grew up in southern Illinois as one of 11 children. 11 children! Orphaned at a young age. Malone attended school in Peoria but later dropped out. Malone's interest in chemistry and hairdressing, it sounds like a perm in the making to me if you're dealing with black hairdressing. Unless you just be like, oh, I like those naps. But I guess if you like, I hate the naps. Where's the chemical to straighten them? Good God, that's a lot of children's. Yeah, but my granddaddy, it seemed like it was 10 or 12 on granddaddy and grandmama's side. And my daddy's daddy. I don't know about my daddy's mom. I don't know much about his side. Malone's interest in chemistry and hairdressing became a serious hobby. She practiced on her sister's hair. She also had an aunt who was an herbalist, and she studied her techniques. What's that? Fruits and berries? Got your fruits and berries? What was the line? I only saw Coming to America twice, okay? I don't have it committed to memory. Oh, a Commodore 64, a Commodore VIC 20. I think that was the first thing I ever got. I think my daddy got me a Commodore VIC 20. Black women were using goose fat and other harsh products on their hair. Is goose fat harsh? Just before the goose fat is harsh compared to a perm? Just before the 20th century, Malone developed an improved hair straightening solution, naming the product the Great Wonderful Hair Grower. Malone moved to St. Louis in 1902 and began selling it door to door. Armed with salespersons and assistants, the product took off. Goose fat. Yeah, is goose fat harsh? Harvard professor Henry Louis Gates stated in a piece that Walker was actually a saleswoman for Malone. I think I've heard that. I love my naps, coils, and spirals. Me too. And those my brother, beautiful sisters. Yeah, me too. I had to learn to. Rendering any animal fat is very moisturizing. Could get salmonella if it's from a goose. Really? In 1902, they didn't even have salmonella in 1902. I don't know. The product sold so well that Malone was able to open a store in 1904. So anyway, I love that story because it's sort of like, again, the things that we don't know. We think we know everything. You be advancing the story. It might be more to the story than you know. Oh, snap. When did the CDC create it? I grew up on Odyssey too. Nobody knows about that though. Coming to America classic. I saw it seemed like just the other day, like a few months ago, I saw it, but that was only the second time I saw it. And I don't think I saw it the whole way through. George, Boxer Man, Marlowe's Corner, are you here? This story is dedicated to you. You probably gone. George Little Chocolate Dixon, first Black world boxing champ. Has anybody heard of Little Chocolate? You're a queen to be. Oh no, I can't remember how it goes. I've heard it before though. Little Chocolate. Nope, we never heard of Little Chocolate. See, that's why Black Den is here. George Lil Chocolate Dixon, first black world boxing champion. Most people who enjoy watching boxing know that a fighter named Joe Gans was the first African American to win a world boxing championship. I never heard of Joe Gans. I hope they don't remake Coming to America. Lil Chocolate mini Hershey bars free from infections. I heard of sexual chocolate. That's from Coming to America too, right? Okay. So Joe Gans, never heard of him. First African American to win a world boxing championship. However, many people do not know that a Canadian fighter named hashtag George Dixon, hashtag Lil Chocolate, was the first black world boxing champion and reportedly the first African American champion in any major sport. Any major sport. He was considered by many to be the greatest fighter of the 19th century. The newspapers during his day hailed him as the greatest of them all. Dixon was a quick puncher with a great left jab, right, left. What's a jab? A left jab. His best punch was a strong right cross to the chin. His favorite combination was a left jab to the face, followed by a right to the body and a jab back to the face. His famous fighting method included jabbing, feinting, F-E-I-N-T. What's that when you do like this? You pretend to die and then you come back and hit him. Feinting and rushing an opponent to the ropes where he would work the body. He was also known for his defensive ability to dodge, evade, and block his opponent's blows. Due to the color of his skin, he often had to fight under unfair and even dangerous circumstances. There were no boxing commissions in those days, and the gamblers controlled the sport. He was born in 1870 and was a native of Africaville in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Y'all remember in Daughters of the Dust, they'd say Nova Scotia. They still do. That's right. Gamblers still controlled the sport. Africaville no longer exists. The area was an early settlement for freed blacks and those who had escaped slavery in Canada. Dixon stood only 5'3" and weighed 87 pounds. That is little. They control every sport. And that is why people nicknamed him Little Chocolate. He first claimed winnings to the bantamweight world title in 1888, but he originally and officially won the title in 1890 after his defeat of English fighter, hey Rowdy Chica, Nuke Wallace. The fight lasted for 18 rounds. 18 rounds? That's too long. Oh, how adorable. I'm taller than him. Now, how tall is this guy that money? What's this child's name who be throwing? He was like, I make my donations to my Mayweather. Not surprising. Everything we do, we're able to dominate. How tall is Mayweather? He's on the smaller side, isn't he? Isn't he? He's not like a big guy. I don't know. I don't think so. The next year, Dixon won the featherweight title in a fight with Australian Abe Willis and held the title for 6 years. During this period, Dixon created a vaudeville troupe that toured Canada and the United States. Dixon, I'm getting poetry is on the email, coming across my email. At 87 pounds, he sounds like an anorexic fighter. 5'3", 87 pounds. Now I'm 5'4", and for the longest time I was 103 pounds. And I weighed myself the other day and I'm not 103 pounds anymore. I guess I used to be skinny. I'm not skinny anymore. I don't know how I feel about it. Okay, so he retired in 1906, 87. Yeah, 87 is small. And then he was small but mighty, obviously, because, he was, I'm not going to fight him. I'm not going to fight nobody. Reckless eyeballing, the Matt Ingram case. Okay, so first of all, I thought reckless eyeballing was just like, an expression like, oh, she got an attitude. Like, it's not like you can take somebody to court and be like, she had an attitude. Like when I heard they were recklessly eyeballing, I thought that just meant you can curl 87 pounds. I thought that just meant that you were supposed to be like, You know, like oh, when white people come, you're supposed to look down, and if you look up, then you recklessly eyeball a Negro, look down. I didn't know it was like a legitimate thing. I mean, like, I shouldn't say legitimate, but like, okay, so Matt Ingram was accused of reckless eyeballing, the improper looking at a white person with sexual intent. There's a definition for reckless eyeballing, and that is it. The improper look at a person's sexual intent only to them. He was one of the last African Americans convicted under this law. The case became well known by civil rights activists in North Carolina. How can a look be sexual intent? You gotta ask white people, and don't ask too seriously. It's some bullshit. It's dumb. He was a black tenant, but anyway, I just was surprised. I didn't realize that reckless eyeballing was like an official crime. That's some crazy ish. I'm sure that wasn't true. Yeah. Okay. He was defended by Ernest Frederick Upchurch. Oh no, we don't care nothing about that. Okay, so we gonna keep. Oh, which this is on Black Then, so you can hit their blog up. I don't know why I'm always promoting Black Then. Nikki, that's a hard game to play. That's what they probably charged Emmett Till with. Yeah. I don't know. They didn't charge him. They just dragged that little boy and killed him. They didn't charge him with nothing. Clues of peace in Afghanistan. Michelle Obama on being told she didn't belong at Princeton. New York City mayor. New York City mayor's son, Dante de Blasio, reflects on racism at elite private school. Right. But even if he had whistled, that don't even make sense. So I mean, okay, so he whistled. So now that means that it was okay. Oh, he whistled. So she was telling the truth. He whistled. So it was okay to torture him and kill him. I'm froze. Is everybody else frozen? I'm not seeing any sign of any problem on my side, but we know it's been acting crazy, crazy, cray, cray. Has anybody been feeling or seeing the effects of net neutrality? That woman confessed that she lied. I'm not having any issues. Every time I tell my mother something about my phone or my computer, she's like, "It's the end of net neutrality," and I'm like, "Is it?" Or is it just the regular thing? Dysfunction to the 100th power. Hateration and jealousy. No issues on my end. Much better than yesterday. Me neither. Okay. That's good. So de Blasio is the one who, he's a white man. His wife is white. His son is biracial. He said something about him being concerned about his son getting, having encounters with the police and being safe. And then the police were like, when he got inaugurated or whatever, didn't they turn their back on him, or they were upset? Isn't that the case? So anyway, the child go to an elite private school, and he believe it or not, he still has to deal with racism. While being the mayor's son afforded him many benefits that didn't shield him from discrimination. You think? The admission test, racist culture, students of color only 15% this year. Brooklyn Technical High School in 2015, overt acts of racism at the school, older black alumni getting involved. Racism is everywhere. Okay. Former NFL player arrested on rape and kidnapping charges. Are so damn petty and thin-skinned, a bunch of punks. Right. I don't know what the story is. Projection, everything. I don't know what the story is, but again, just like we were talking earlier, it's like, hearing about if somebody was kidnapped and raped, and somebody is out here, I mean, and I'm sure people are kidnapped and raped all the time, but if this NFL player kidnapped and raped somebody, that's sad. If they didn't kidnap and rape somebody and they got accused of it, it's sad. Like, I don't even really know what to do. Like, the biggest gang in the nation, literally nuts, literally. And they are, the cops are the biggest gang in the nation. Didn't he just get arrested for robbery? Is that the NFL player? So yeah, that story kind of makes, I don't want to look at it anymore. Like the headline kind of makes my Kellen Winslow. I don't know. The headline kind of makes me like I got a little slight headache here. It's like shooting, you know. We can't be out here kidnapping and raping people. It's coming up. It's coming up. Jada Pinkett Smith addresses pesky divorce rumors. That's a man that can rely on me for the rest of his life. I thought he was looking at a house and the white woman called the police. Oh, maybe that's somebody else. Oh, he was house hunting. You're right. And arrested without cause, is now knee deep in more legal troubles and has been charged with rape and kidnapping charges. She's short. Can't nobody lean on her. Jada Pinkett Smith. It's unknown whether the new charges are connected with the burglary charges Kellen Winslow Jr.'s leveled against the former player last week. He was allegedly walking into a home in Southern California mobile home park last Thursday when a nervous neighbor made a 911 call and reported the home being burglarized. 2 counts of forcible rape, 2 counts of forcible sodomy, and 1 count of forcible oral copulation, as well as kidnapping with the intent to commit rape. He could be facing life in prison. 34-year-old person. The robbery claim is false and the accuser overreacted. Yeah, this weird. This the story is confused. It's confusing. Nervous neighbor. The headline is talking about the rape. They're talking about the rape, but then they're like the neighbor overreacted in reporting the burglary. So yeah, and they say right at the top of the article that they're not really clear what the connection is. He emphatically denies. That just sounds weird. TPTB must be upset with him. Nervous neighbor translates into racist neighbor. I'm confused too, especially now that I skimmed the article. The thing that I thought was interesting about the whole Jada Pinkett Smith thing is she's like, we're family, so he not getting rid of me. I guess whether they married, divorced, she like we family. And I think about like different relationships that I've had in my life, friendships, marriages, like different people who have come and go, and like the ways in which people come and go. You already heard you say she's short. Typical white neighbor. Don't even sound right. Your dictionary is on point. And like how some of the relationships, like, just some come and go. Like, isn't there like an expression? Some people come into your life for a moment, a moment, a lifetime, a moment, or something, and then some never go away or something. But anyway, it just has me thinking about, like how some relationships, a reason, a season, a lifetime. Thank you. How some relationships are like really, she basically like, look, we together forever. And I've had relationships that I guess I've had people call it like talk about karmic relationships. I've had relationships that were like real intense and then nothing. I've had relationships that like build and they're like ongoing. Like, it's just like it just got me thinking about like just all the different types of relationships, and that happen in life. And also I told you this has been a season for like people looping back into my life, so people who have been gone for 3, 5, 10 years, kind of coming back. People who I thought, oh well, I guess that was just a season or a reason. Maybe it's for a lifetime. I don't know. A reason, a season, a lifetime. So Jada Pinkett, she say she ride or die, they forever. Florida college fraternity sued over revenge porn. So it didn't exactly seem like revenge porn to me, if it's the article I'm thinking of. The men who were in the fraternity were sharing nude pictures of their girlfriends on like a Facebook page or something. So I don't think they were necessarily mad at their girlfriends. Again, we were talking about like disrespect earlier. I think it's just like a reflection of like their disrespect and disregard for the young women. Like would the women want those pictures published or shared or whatever? Do they care? I don't think they were like, I'm mad at you and so I'm trying to hurt you. I think they were like, who does that? I think they were just like, this is what we're doing for fun and we just care about what we want. So that's what we're going to do. That's what I think that the story is about. It's kind of disturbing and it's upsetting, you know? Um, HB. Holla back. Is that what HB means? There used to be the song Holla Back Girl. I'm a holla back girl. Dang. It was a British woman. I can't remember because the way I'm singing and it sound like a rap, but it was like not that kind of rap. But I used to have this CD. Hurry back. Oh, hurry back. The media hates black love. So they're constantly trying to make up rumors about Will and Jada, Beyonce and Jay-Z, etc. Gwen Stefani. I don't think it was Gwen Stefani. I think it was like a light-skinned biracial black woman. And I don't know how I stumbled upon this album. It's some weird something I used to, I mean, I guess it was a cassette tape, so that tells you how old it is. Um, so anyway, yeah, that's jacked up. That's jacked up. Be respectful of people's feelings and consider how people feel. Don't just think about yourself. Don't be an asshole. Dark Mofo, the provocative festival changing Tasmania's reputation. So I remember that song about a decade old. Might be more than a decade. Who is it by? Is it the same song? She said she was a holla back girl. I think that's what she said. It kind of does in a way. That music that you referred me to, it does kind of seem to be in that same genre. So you might actually know something about it. So this is like a festival, I guess, in Australia where it's summertime here, now it's wintertime there. So when we're having our summer solstice, it's like kind of like a bacchanalia, like it's like a festival celebrating things like dark and like the underworld. Like if you looked at it astrologically, it would be like Scorpio type things, you know? And so they have art, they have like all kinds of things to celebrate, like the shortest day of the year, the darkest day of the year, they get in the winter. It was catchy though, nice rhythm. Yeah, you would think that. Um, they get in the water or something when it's cold. It's like this whole weird festival, this whole weird celebration. And, I guess it's bringing more tourism and like a higher end tourist to this region of the world. Um, but I guess I was just thinking about like this, like when I was at Mardi Gras, when I first went to Mardi Gras, like one of the parades, where they the societies, it was like the society of like drunkenness and like debauchery and like that was like what they were into and what they did and what they celebrated. And I guess they had a ball and like that's what they were like all about. And I guess each society had different things. So I was just thinking about like this idea of like the whole city or whatever having like a celebration of like the underworld. And like things, the underworld is part of the overworld, like everything balances itself out, and there's always like undercurrents. So undercurrents, even though we tend to look at them as like bad, that's just part of the whole, it's the heads and the tails, it's like total thing. But it just seemed like a pretty Society of the Dead and Embalmed. Is that the day Zero got elected? Um, but I was just kind of like interested. I don't think that I would go to anything like that. And I think even the Mardi Gras parade that I went to that was about, that I was kind of like, but I think probably part of it is because they were, like I think if it was like I have a friend who's like into skulls and stuff like that, and I saw somebody do some interesting artwork with skulls a couple few years ago, and it was like I kind of felt a little more receptive. Oh, very good. Um, I was a little more receptive, I think, because of the cultural context. You know, like, isn't there, who is yeah, like, there's, I like that. I didn't catch that. See, everybody's not gonna catch it. Um, but yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, every time y'all speak his name, you give power. Is zero the same thing as speaking his name? Every time we think about him, we give him power. So anyway, new Demos report investigates why Donald Trump is so horribly arose by any other name is so horribly bad for black people. And this is coming off the Griot. They had like 9 or 10 points. I don't think I have time to go into them. Let me see. I'll come back. Google is still very white and very male. I think every year, like, they do a report on their statistics, and so every year it seems like it's the same story. If there's been some shift, or not. Devoted dad launches app to help daughter struggling with math. Oh, that's sweet. These are the 20 busiest airports in the world. Atlanta Hartsfield, I think is the name of the airport, is still on top. And I'm like, why is it the busiest? How is that possible? I mean, is it because it's like good weather and people can hub through it? Like, in the whole world, Atlanta is the biggest airport? That's deep to me. Are the 25 most powerful militaries in the world. This was interesting to me too. I thought it was a joke. Okay, so this is an 11-page report. It's entitled "The Social Exclusion." I would think it would be one in Chicago or New York or anywhere. United, like, I would think it would be. I just would not think that Atlanta would stay. This 11-page report entitled "Social Exclusion: Black People Have Everything to Lose Under this Current Administration," which is not a rose by any name. So they talk about ramping up mass incarceration and supporting civil rights, number one. Number two, failing to address the black economic recession. O'Hare in Chicago is a distant second. Taking money out of black pockets, ending protection from predatory lenders, not a rose, more like a poison ivy. Helping predatory for profit colleges rip off black students, ignoring the affordable, he is not a rose, ignoring the affordable housing crisis and segregation, Ben Carson, starving poor families, aiding in the declining health of black communities, homeland insecurity for black immigrants and black Muslims. Trump is slowly killing us off. So anyway, that's coming off the Griot. I don't have time to get into it, but I thought it was 11 pages is not that long. So I guess what I read is probably the executive summary. But that seems long for it. I would love to see an end to payday lenders, or at least make a massive reform. Yeah, that's like loan sharking. I don't even know how that's legal. Like, that's some straight up. I don't even like this. That's the crazy. This country is crazy. I don't even know how payday lenders exist. That's some bull. Nigeria. Oh, the 25 most powerful militaries in the world. Usury. Yeah, yeah. And it seemed like there used to be protections for consumers, and like, I'm not sure. I'm sure that there's something that happened, something that was dismantled. I heard that there were a lot of things that were dismantled. It is a scam. It seems like a scam. It is a scam. I heard there were a lot of things that were dismantled under Reagan, but we didn't see the repercussions immediately. Like, now there are a lot of things that are being dismantled, and we'll see the repercussion over time. Lots of deregulations. So 25 of the most powerful militaries in the world. I was kind of surprised that there were so many brown-ish countries on this list. Algeria, number 25. Saudi Arabia, number 24, is a count up. North Korea, number 23. Australia, number 22. Australia? Who even knew they had a military? Iran, legal loan sharking, and they pay government officials so they can keep cheating and enslaving people who are most vulnerable. Right. Right. And I've like, yeah, that's a whole nother story. Cause I feel like I've heard of them people coming on people's porches and stuff. Iran, 20 is Thailand. These are military power, devils. 19 Poland. Poland has a military. 18 Taiwan. Brazil 17. Vietnam 16. Israel 15. Now that I thought Israel would be higher up. I'm surprised they're at number 15. And now the way that it's laid out is they have a power index rating, they have a total population, they have total military personnel, total aircraft strength, fighter aircraft, combat tanks, total naval assets, defense budget, and I guess somehow they crunch the numbers together to come up with these scores. Indonesia is 14 with all the help they get from the US. Indonesia 14, Pakistan 13, South Korea 12, Italy 11. Italy is the one that was trying to go into Ethiopia, right? Egypt 10, Germany 9, Turkey 8, Turkey, Japan 7, United Kingdom 6, France 5, boo. India 4, India, China 3, Russia 2, and then the US 1. So I guess Putin is doing a good job of destabilizing the US, because that'll make him number one. Japan is surprising to me. Fake news is fake news. It's not true. Moving on. I don't know. I just skimmed it. This is coming off a feed proxy. Now, I didn't do the research myself. US ain't won. Nigeria soccer fans are banned from taking their lucky ticket into the World Cup matches. So this kind of tripped me out. Do people take their lucky chickens into the World Cup, into soccer matches in Nigeria, like just on, like at regular games? Do people take their dogs to sports matches? And it made me think, wow, it's a World Cup, so there are people from all over the world with all different types of traditions and ways of moving in the world. But if you from Nigeria, don't take your chickens, lucky or otherwise, into the World Cup matches. Macron and Italian lucky socks, lucky chickens. Go! Quack, quack, quack. What sound does a chicken make? Quack. I don't know. Quack. That's a duck. I don't know. Macron and Italian PM Conte back EU asylum centers in African nations. So there's been this ongoing thing with these people that Italy turned away, that they diverted to Spain. Cluck, cluck. Oh, cluck, duh. That's something that 2-year-olds learn. Woof is the sound that a dog makes. Cluck is the sound that a chicken makes. I missed that lesson, or I forgot it. So they've been having this whole, old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on the farm he had some chicken, E-I-E-I-O, with a cluck cluck here and a cluck cluck there. Here a cluck, there a cluck. We got to make that a thing. Lucky chickens. You started off. Remember Pet Rocks? So they've been having this ongoing conversation. I guess Macron done apologized to Italy, because Italy, like, we don't want the people coming here sending to Spain. And now Macron, the French and the Spanish have gotten, the French and the Italians have gotten together. You don't remember Pet Rocks? Have gotten together and said that we're gonna have asylum centers, but we don't want them to come on our land. We're going to have the asylum centers in their places so we can negotiate it before they be coming to our place. Oh, and I guess they have some rule in Europe where wherever you land first, that's where you have to seek asylum. And so some people feel that it's unfair, because if you're on the water, E-I-E-I-O. if you're on the water, then you have more people landing there first because that's where they land first. They're not going to land in your place if you inland, so they're saying it's disproportionate. But I don't feel bad for the Europeans. I'm not trying to understand all of that. Ramadan. Ramadan is over. Is anybody celebrating Eid? Is it the Eid? Hey, Nicole Ali. Jazz hands. So Ramadan, Muslims celebrate Eid around the world. Eid, yes. Hey, well, congratulations. I don't know if you congratulate people after Ramadan. Blessings. Yay. Hey, what up though? So I think they probably have images of people celebrating all around the world. It's interesting to think of things that people, yep, jazz hands. Hey, Nicole. Of things that people celebrate all around the world at the same time. And the idea of people fasting all over the world at the same time is kind of interesting. I mean, I guess I knew, but I don't know, it just hit me like, oh, that's interesting. I like a spiritual, like a group spiritual endeavor. Um, Ricin, RICIN threat, Cologne anti-terror police search flats. So somebody they say is out there. I think he was Algerian, or they thought he was Algerian, or whatever. They accused a Nigerian of out here making chemical. It's a chemical weapon. This ricin. So they looking for him. Where's Cologne at? Somewhere in Europe. Health inspector goes on racist rant against black family, asking if girls showered before getting into hotel pool. So when we first heard it, the first two articles just dealt with the girl, then the third one dealt with the mother. Now we're hearing that he's a health inspector, like, and is he asking everybody in area of Germany? Oh, y'all really be into that whole Germany thing? If you like Germany so much, why don't you go to. So anyway, I don't really know. I haven't read the story about this hotel pool situation, but the headlines are weird. Or, I'm like trying to I can't exactly figure it out from the headlines. An incredibly rare critter just made its first video debut in China, and it's the cutest thing you'll see today. So this is something that they just discovered like in the 80s or the 90s. And they've been trying to, like, for years, they've been trying to find it again, and they couldn't find it. Okay, let's see. It's called a Lee. Oh, it is cute. It's called a Lee Pika. Lepika? L-L-I. Lepika. Spotted for the first time in 20 years and recorded on video for the first time after decades of strenuous searching. One of the 8-inch, 0.5-pound creatures serendipitously ran across scientist Weidong Li's boot. The animal is nicknamed the Magic Rabbit. So this is what it looks like. A tiny mammal found on the high elevation cliff faces of the Tian Shan Mountains in northwestern China has been captured on film for the first time. I guess first they capture it in film, then they're going to be trying to capture it in real life. What was that? Kenny Ich Scone. No, I've always liked geography. Don't care too much for looks like a bitty Ewok. A rabbit? No, it's I just said the name and I forgot. It's a Lipika, L-L-I, new word, P-I-K-A, Lipika, a tiny mammal found on the high elevation cliff faces in China. It was first discovered by the institute. Well, this institute, they need to leave those animals alone and in peace. In 1983 and confirmed to be a new species in 85. The elusive plant-eating mammal was not spotted again until nearly 20 years later, despite several field missions dedicated solely to tracking one down. Them things is probably hiding. We do not want y'all to find us. In 2014, a gorgeous photo was taken by Lee. Okay. So anyway, and again, even the name is cool, cute. Lipika. Lipika, Lipika. Adorable ears. Magic of it. Yeah, it kind of looks fake. Pikachu, Pikachu, little Pikachu. That's what I say to Bella sometimes. But again, this idea of it's so much in the world that we don't know about, we've never seen, we might have glimpses of, we have like a vague impression of, but just believe, it's so many things that are not seen. Of all the things that we see, there are more things that we don't see. Of all the things that we know, there are more things that we don't know. So just, have faith and believe. I was just gonna say that. Imani looks like a dog mixed with a rabbit. Imani. Believe with all of your heart in your parents, your people, your ancestors, your children, your progeny, your community, and the righteousness and victory of your struggle. You ain't got to see the evidence, just believe. Just believe. Just know. And see the evidence of other stuff. Hey, love like the sun. Happy Friday. There are a couple of songs, but I can't think of them all of a sudden. Friday night. Just got paid. The depths of the ocean, yes. Smart little thing to hide in China. Doesn't want to end up between somebody's chopsticks. Oh my gosh. There you go again, talking about Chinese food, bona fide. Yeah, they say that the ocean is like the undiscovered, like there's just so much going on in the water. Health inspect. Oh, we talked about that. A new form, listen to this story, a new form of male, that's why I have my shoulders out in honor of this story, I'm just joking, but listen to this. A new form of male birth control is being tested around the world, and men only have to rub it on their shoulders once a day. I'm like, on their shoulders? Is that a euphemism for something else? Like, how that work? There's fish down there that has there's a fish down there that has a transparent head. They're killing the ocean though. They'll find it after extinction. Finally. Right, but their birth control, all they have to do is rub a little bit on their shoulder. It probably sparkles too. Anyway. Jermaine Dupri inducted into Songwriter Hall of Fame. I know Jermaine Dupri from the Rap Game, where I shouldn't call them little bitty kids because they're teenagers. They compete to be rappers. It's a really cute show. Sounds like some sci-fi stuff. Yay! Welcome back, COG. It must stink a man in the abstinence. You be like, ugh, it's the best for you stink. It's best for birth control. So I guess congratulations to Jermaine Dupri. Judge who sentenced, Jermaine Dupri used to date Janet Jackson, right? The barrel eye? What does that mean? Judge who sentenced Texas woman to 5 years for illegal voting denies her request for a new trial. After purchasing his freedom, this man traveled the world and in 1789 published a best-selling autobiography. Yeah, I saw a story the other day, or an image the other day. It was like a white woman who, oh no, that would never be me. If you rub something on your shoulders that renders you temporarily sterile, I can just imagine what else is doing to the guy's physiology. The fish with the transparent head, pretty interesting looking. Oh, right. All of those, yeah, chemicals. Exactly, bona fide. So who is it who purchased their freedom? It will make his biceps smaller. You won't be able to bench press that 87 pounds. Oh, look at that image. Olaudah Equiano writes that he was born in the Igbo province in the area that is now southern Nigeria. He describes how he was kidnapped with his sister at around the age of 11, sold by local slave traders, and shipped across the Atlantic to Barbados and then Virginia. Frederick Douglass. Thank you. There's no other thing that renders me temporarily. There is another thing, a picture of Oprah. What do you have? But steroids already got that covered. Ayapo. Frederick Douglass. No, this guy's name is Ola Uda. Ola Uda? Ola Uda. Ola Uda. His name is Ola Uda Equiano. Ola Uda. Ola Uda. Ola Uda. I can't stand her. Have you ever met her? Um, Apart from the uncertainty about his early years, everything he describes in his extraordinary autobiography can be verified. In Virginia, he was sold to a Royal Navy officer, Lieutenant Michael Pascal, who renamed him Gustavus Vasa after the 16th century Swedish king. He traveled the oceans for eight years with this guy, learned to read and write. He then sold him to a captain in London. Dang, can you imagine just being sold around? I can't stand her. What did Oprah do? Did I miss something? That's how I feel. I can't. Yeah, being just sold around. I think there's a book about by him. Yeah, they're talking about his autobiography and how everything in it is basically verifiable. Um, in only 3 years, he made enough money to buy his own freedom. He spent the next 20 years traveling the world, including trips to Turkey. I'm not sure about all this Oprah bashing that's going on. In 1789, he published his autobiography, The Interesting Narrative of the Life of Oladua Equiano, or Gustavus Vasa the African. He traveled widely promoting the book, which became immensely popular, helped by the abolitionist cause, and made Equiano a wealthy man. It's one of the earliest books published by a Black African writer. He married an English woman named Susanna Cullen, and they have two daughters. They had two daughters. Oprah Winfrey has done things for Black children in this country. She helps children with HBCUs. I further submit. We're not accepting any submissions, sir. I'm sorry. I like Oprah. I don't dislike her. I feel like take what you can use and then let go of the rest. I don't have I try not to, you know. Now some people it's kind of like I can't figure out nothing useful. I mean, there's always a lesson to be learned in every situation. So, and from every person, and I really do believe that. So, yeah. Utah teachers, students fight to stop erasure of pre-colonial history from AP. Oh my God. Is he coming to make me smile?
Now, every time I pass this way, is this, or are you in your yoga pose?
I'm not my legs are just folded, but I'm on the video.
This is your space.
This is my studio.
Oh. Okay.
Bye, Mr. Petty. Now he always dogs Bella out, so I feel like tell him to say hi to us. He is an actor, and maybe next time. I heard that people from Chicago can't stand Oprah. All of the people, I think it's Petty, but it might be Peddy. But because he was always calling Bella fat before I realized that she was fat and she needs to lose weight. I guess I needed to lose weight too. I kind of felt like, oh, Petty. Well, Petty always saying something petty about Bella. He'd be like, your dog is fat. I'm like, we walk every day for an hour. What you mean? Because she's fat. And she was back. But I had to have other nicer people tell me he's not unnice. I should leave Mr. Petty alone. He's a nice man. He takes care of his mother. He's a very nice man. Don't let my what's up, Kendrick? Don't let my attitude free falling. Your dog is amazing. Don't let my attitude. He is nice. He's nice. There's the must do donations to HBCUs, and then there's the investment in educating young person, which is what beautifully done for young African homeland girls. And then she's an Aquarius. What I notice about a lot of times with Aquarius is they tend to, I think she's an Aquarius, they tend to like have a difficult time like with things. It's like they do better with things like far away and abstractions, you know, like their close up relationships or whatever, you know, they're like more of the universal brotherhood, the way they process it. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could read an interesting think piece. Oh, you're an Aquarius? She's a hack. My sun is in Aquarius's house. So just like my moon is in Scorpio's house, it seems like I always love Scorpios. I think I like always feel for Aquariuses. I feel for that's just my personality. It's like everybody I find a way to like connect to be like, oh, I love so and so. I think. I think. I agree. She's done what makes her feel good and what's good for the nation. Either way we look at it. I'm not a sign. Are you a book? Are you my mother? Peace, brother. What about Geminis? Geminis. Duality, hands and feet, tactile, mental agility, and like dexterity with your hands. I don't know. I have to look at a chart really. I'm not really good with like the general signs. Um Elementary education, like what did they say? You do everything but you don't go deeply into anything, but like, you know, conversation, and you know, like a tool of oppressive system propped her up in order to damage the Black community at large. Student of all, master of none. There's some expression that applies well to a lot of Geminis, but they're great. I think they're great conversationalists. What about Pisces? Pisces can feel like, I guess my initial reaction to Pisces is chaotic. You know, like it feels like, you know, you feel like the fish going in the different direction, but they're bound together. But very, you know, like it's the receiving sign of the zodiac, like they represent the feet, and so it's like very empathetic, very receptive. Everything is included in them. They're able to connect and, you know, bond and like respect or feel for everybody. Whereas you'll see there's an earth sign that's their complementary thing. The earth sign, Virgos tend to like work in institutions. Sometimes you'll see Pisces like as patients in institutions. Um, Very intuitive, very service oriented. Well, maybe we'll have a live broadcast and talk about the horrors of Oprah. Gemini. The vice president is a Gemini. They can be I mean, you know, you see that in like the lyingness, you know, the duplicity. I need to study again. I need to get a study group. That's what I need. I need a new teacher. Mild. Okay. So you haven't You have an Oprah topic for a stream topic. Yeah, have an Oprah topic for a stream topic. Because some people just love and adore Oprah and feel that they've really, that she's really been of service to them in their growth and development. I remember when I was a little girl and watching Oprah on TV, and I remember when her show would come on and she would like talk about all of her, the horrors of Oprah Winfrey. She would talk about the different things that she had experienced, and like at that time, I wasn't really free stuff for you and you and you. I respect her. I'm not obsessed though. And it kind of got me, thinking about like work that I needed to do on my personal growth and development. I don't hate Oprah. You get a car, you get a car, you get a car. Okay, so I wish I could take a trip to Chicago and find the ground that she walked on so I could set fire to it. I'm not reading any more comments. So we were talking about AP courses a few weeks ago. So I guess these AP courses in maybe in Utah, but I think the AP courses is a national test. So they're trying to erase history before colonialism. Hey, Jada's Red Table Talk is trying to follow in Oprah's footsteps. Oh, interesting. So I guess the this AP history exam is like we only want to count history that happened after colonialism. Anything that happened before colonialism doesn't exist. And people are like, that right. All of the most important things happened before colonialism. Colonialism is like this, they didn't say that, but it's like this much of the whole world. So how you gonna like just focus in on like one small part? That's nothing, you know? So the students and the teachers are fighting. Kashmir journalist Shujat Bukhari shot dead in Srinagar. Another journalist killed. Ceuta, remember when we talked about that when we were talking about Alkebulan, and it was like some kind of Spanish colony in the African continent, and Melilla, we haven't gotten to that. Spain wants rid of anti-migrants razor wire. So I guess that these are colonies of Spain that are on the continent of Alkebulan. Is that what we're to understand? I can't remember now. Ceuta, I was kind of like, I had never heard of it. And then it was something weird about it. Like, I think it's a Spanish colony, right? Does anybody remember? Okay, we'll come back to that. We got to keep moving. Calm before the storm at Vital Red Seaport. I don't know what that's about. Tamar Braxton claps back at fans who slam her for wearing wigs again. I don't know why people be so upset about other people's hair or invested in their head. Like, what does it... I don't know. Do y'all find something better to focus on? The drama and fury of Kilaue's volcano lives. Portland bailout raises money to release young black man found not guilty of burglary. Remember when clap was applause, then an STD? I've heard of I got the clap and I heard of clap. So I guess. So I don't know if y'all can see this. You could look down, you see all that green and the people golfing, and then you see the people on the top of the fence. Yeah, I don't get the whole worrying about hair and makeup thing either. Can y'all see the people up there on top of the fence? They're trying to climb into. A golfer hits a tee shot as African migrants attempt to cross into the Spanish territory of Malaysia. The tiny enclaves on Morocco's Mediterranean coast have become magnets for African migrants seeking a better life in Europe. I thought those were flags. Those are people. Injuries are common when jumpers try to scale the 6-meter, which is 20 feet high, fences. They are often topped with barbed wire and even coils or razor blades. They want the least bloody possible means of preserving border security. Yep, so those are people up there. So they're talking about getting 20 feet. Oh, I don't know in Israel. Talking horse. Who's the talking horse? Oh, Ed was a talking horse. Okay. It's already so late. I got so much to do. Trump's gutted EPA might lead to, so I don't know if so is Oprah. I don't know if anybody knows how tall the fence is, the wall is in Israel. Build that wall, build that wall, build that wall. The things that make you go, Angela, you have a nice day, ma'am. It will be fabulous. See you folks. Bye. Bye, Kendrick. I will be fabulous me. Oh, see you folks. Good. That's right. Be you, be fabulous you. And remember, Imani, have faith in yourself, your family, your community, and the victory and righteousness of your struggle. It was a good setup. Trump's gutted EPA might lead to 80,000 more deaths per decade. We were talking about these decisions or these policy moves or whatever, and how they have these long-term implications. So that's what this story seems to be about. The EPA was gutted before zero came along. Can it get more gutted? Is there any guts to gut? Study reveals most Christians view God as a Caucasian male. Naturally, black folks have something to say about it. I don't know why as many white Jesuses as we got around. What we got to say? I mean, not me. All those departments are bought. Target pulls insensitive baby daddy cards after being slammed by consumers. Get that ladder. Get that ladder. Right, that image of those people climbing that fence is really interesting. Because, yeah, it seems like you would do it secretly. Like they just the people playing golf and they climbing, so when they jump down, they're gonna be like, haha, I made it, and just start running, or like how does it work? The golf course isn't like, what are you doing here? Get back. Like it just seems so public and obvious, and like what they trying to do. I guess it's like a game. I had these two dogs, and one of the dogs, it was like you would build a wall and the dog would scale the wall, and then you would build a bigger wall, not me but my husband, and the dog would scale the wall. Like her name was Dana. It was like Dana thought it was a game, like oh, you want me to see if I can figure out how to get over this wall? And she just like, she was always forever escaping. She was like an escape artist. Like you couldn't really lock her up. She wanted to be limbo in reverse. They protect it. I guess they don't protect it like the Israel border. I can appreciate white Jesus now that I see he makes for the most hilarious memes. Yeah, they say it's like a young white guy and that people think of as, or I don't know who the people are, but okay, let's hurry up. Let's hurry up. We ain't got all day. Target pulls. Now, I heard about this when she was barking. She was saying, give me my free. Give us free. Yeah. No, she ain't really barked. She just scaled the wall and went on about her business. You come in the house, you try to keep her in the basement. You come in the house, she be at the door like, hey! You're like, dag that Dana. So I heard about this yesterday on Ty Bivens live. She was talking about the baby daddy card. It's like a card. It says baby daddy on it. And it's like, happy Father's Day. You're a good husband and father, or something it says on the inside. And so, people were like, that's offensive. A lot of people are like, I don't think a baby daddy is like a positive expression. What are you doing, Target? Why? What's going on? Ill. And so they pulled the card, and they probably had an apology thrown in as well. Stone Free. I don't know that song. Oh, you talking to Ayapo. African American owned real estate crowdfund Crowd fund raises 9.6 million in 7 days. Historic IPO. Now, I don't know. I didn't really know what the headline meant, but when I read the article, Jimi Hendrix, oh, Jimi Hendrix. But when I read the article or skimmed the article, it seems like a way for just like how mutual funds are a way for you to invest in like the stock market. It seemed like a way for you to like with $50 or $100 be invested in like a big real estate investment type thing. And they seem to be focusing on rebuilding and developing Black communities. So it seemed kind of interesting to me. Is anybody familiar with this particular? I didn't say the name of the company, but maybe even before I say the name, you know the company. It's something that it seems like I might want to invest in. Atlanta real estate mogul, author, and sometime TV commentator Jay Morrison has raised 9.6 million for the first 7 days of an initial public offering, the first ever African American owned real estate crowd fund. I just wrote a blog about crowdfunding for someone. The Tulsa Real Estate Fund is meant to be a way for working class people to own shares and equity in a portfolio of real estate assets that would combat gentrification, according to press release. It's the first African American owned Regulation A+ Tier 2 crowd fund designed to revitalize urban communities across the U.S. So it's designed to revitalize urban communities. That sounds positive and progressive. As I was reading this, I noticed, this is where the Imani comes in, because I was like, is this a scam? Is this a hustle? What's really going on? I have to have Imani, right? I have to have faith. But I'd invest something in it. A high school dropout, Morrison was a 3-time felon by the time he was 20. He sold crack cocaine in Somerville, New Jersey. There are 2 types. You earn interest off loans. I have to read it the next time. You earn interest off loans to people who buy property with loans. The other is for house flippers, and you earn money from the sale of the home. It does sound good. It's Kujichagulia. So it's called Tulsa, Tulsa Real Estate Fund. So maybe some of us should start researching it and, invest a little or a lot. In 2014, he started an online wealth education institute, the Jay Morrison Academy, providing financial literacy. He also launched Easy Funding. Most you have to have $200,000 in annual income and $1 million in assets. It is named after Black Wall Street. It's Kujichagulia. He's the best-selling author of Hip Hop to Homeowners: How We Built Wealth in America, Lord of My Land: 5 Steps to Home Ownership, How African Americans Receive Unity, Justice, and Repair, The Solution. Qualified with the Securities and Exchange Commission, both accredited and non-accredited investors can collectively invest and own real estate projects around the country that are unique, diversified, and yield a reasonable rate of return. Hopes to raise $50 million in equity capital in its IPO under Regulation A+ of the Jumpstart Our Business Startup Jobs Act. It launched June 1, 2018. Yeah, so this is something I can't bookmark it on my thing, but yeah, it sounds interesting to me. Much respect. I listened to you on the radio this morning. You have definitely gained a supporter on me. These are things people are tweeting. I still don't know what you plan to do with the capital. What's the operating plan? Not what you plan to return to shareholders. This is the first time I've done anything like this, and I do not have a lot of money. I believe in the vision, and I'm willing to take a risk for my kids and my community. Just joined the movement. Looking forward to the journey. Super proud of you. What y'all think? Okay, somebody research it. Some people research it. We need to talk about this. This seemed like something to research, and hey, coming to tell you, Angela, get out of there. Run! They got me blocked in. That's what the other guy was doing. I don't like being blocked in. If I got to back up and I'm blocked in, I'm trapped. Then I have to climb out the window and run. U.S. renews also. Most you can You can't retrieve money until 3 to 5 years. A long-term investment you locked in, not even with a penalty. Yeah, you have to. I mean, in general, when you invest in this, it shouldn't be. You should have an emergency fund and a cushion before you start investing. Don't be invest. I mean, so that you have and it should be something that you could afford to lose, because it's gambling. It's gambling. You don't know. It's gambling. It's like going to the movie or the casino. You'd be like, okay, here the $20. And then if you win something, you probably ain't. If you enjoy the movie, cool. You can't, Yeah. But yeah, we should have more conversations about it. I don't know it. I mean, I know just a little. U.S. renews calls for Cuba. Probe cause of health attacks. We talked about this the other day. Around 7,000 Ghanaians are still face deportation. Bum rush by Mitt Romney. It's white stuff floating in the car. So is this supposed to be pollen? Is that what this is? Can y'all see that little white thing? Is that pollen? Because it's like floating all over. Not today, but about 4 or 5 days ago, it was all over. Is that pollen? I don't remember that from when I was a child. I think that's some particular plant here. Sister Ajali's husband looked into it and he wasn't keen to it. Tulsa Fun. Oh, yeah, I want to hear about that. It might be a type of pollen. No, that's nanotechnology. And when I just did like that, I got infected. Now it's like running through my bloodstream and I'm turning into a computer. I'm being cloned right before your very eyes. That's not how cloning works. Pollen is dust-like. Oh, like that. Down south, you'd have like that yellow. It was like this fine yellow dust be over everything. But it probably depends on the plant, what the pollen look like, right? Banksy print stolen from Toronto exhibit by brazen thief. You are now the Borg. Resistance is futile. Isn't that what the Borg used to say? Pennsylvania court blocks unemployment benefits for trucker who used racial slur against black trainee. Immigrants founded and co-founded half of all the billion-dollar startups in 2016, creating over 33,000 jobs. Comey used personal Gmail, while FBI director says federal watchdog. So while he was the FBI director, he was using a personal server, and that's when they were all like, "Oh my gosh, Hillary Clinton used a personal server." We're late to the party. It started in 2012. I thought that crowdfunding was just like when you like sent out an email or told people go to my GoFundMe. I'm still confused, so I'm leaving later to the party. The party going on. I don't even know I'm at the party. I'm not at the party. Y'all at the party? Did nobody invite me to the party? I like to party. Husband of Nigerian singer Alizi pleads not guilty to murder of wife daughter. I don't know if y'all remember seeing it. It was like a few months ago. She was like a light-skinned woman, and I think her husband was like European. I don't remember, but he's saying he ain't kill her. But I might have seen somebody do like maybe it's sister Hi Ajali who does, how high cute is. Only a real star would be able to figure out. I think it's sister Ajali who's always talking about the we need to strike when the iron's hot. Who's always talking about like Swirler's Revenge and stuff like that. So it might have been on one of those channels that I saw like the video or something. But anyway, Ignatius Sancho made me sure of who I am as a Black Briton. Ex-Tesla employees reveal the cryptic ways they learned they were getting fired. Everything I hear about Tesla, it's like they don't seem like they treat the people good. It's not a good look. I didn't really know anything about them, and I'm anti-Tesla. A Canadian musician spent years thinking the school of his dreams didn't want him, but actually, his ex girlfriend hid his admission and sabotaged his career. We talked about that earlier. He's suing her since that headline came out. Here are the top 10 gold producing countries. Rachel Saunders, second missing botanist body identified. I can't lie. I cannot. Maybe after I find out more, that'll change. You ain't been listening to notes on the news feed. I done gave you all the information you need. We don't like Tesla. The real Teslas came up with free clean energy. They have destroyed his name, although he sold out to the elites in the end. The real Tesla. Oh, you'll no say. So I think this was like in South Africa, some white people went missing and I guess they done found their bodies or something. The surprise place where the hijab, we need a black owned version of Tesla. The surprise place where the hijab, oh, you know what? A couple months ago when we were talking about black owned car companies, remember I told you there was a black owned car company that's like current, not like from back in the day. And I think that they have used clean technology. Now I can't remember the name of it, but I bet you if you Google black owned car company, it'll come up. Nikola Tesla. Resistance is futile. So the surprise place, so in Egypt, I think this is in Egypt, they basically like, oh, if you're a modern woman, you don't cover your hair. If you're a modern woman, you dress provocatively. You have your hair covered, you're not modern. Certain restaurants, if they're like high end and you have your hair covered, they're like, you can't come in here. So this, I think it's Egypt. I just feel like people, like, this whole, like, this thing, there's relevance in what women do or don't do. Like, give us free shit. Let me just don't. Nicki Minaj says she feels responsible for girls selling sex and creating modern day prostitutes. That whole thing, I skimmed it. I was kind of confused. Resistance is futile. Your fabulousness is indomitable. I think it was Egypt. It's easier to be wearing a hijab in London than in Cairo. That's in Egypt. This is how 47-year-old Dalia Nan describes her experiences as a woman wearing an Islamic headscarf, also known as a hijab, in London compared to her hometown in Egypt. And also, I guess there's like some swimsuit where you covered up. Now, why you would want to be covered up? I guess if I was in a pool, I might want to be covered up because I don't want chlorine on me. But if I'm in the water, I don't want to be covered up. But anyway, free energy at the time he died. She feels judged in Egypt and all of that. So the whole Nicki Minaj thing, I think it's interesting. Like, she used it to make money, her sexuality, like Anaconda, like a lot of those songs are like very, I mean, I'm not saying she's a prostitute, but like, it seems like she's definitely trading in the selling of sex. And so I feel like if a young woman is trading literally in the selling of sex and she's trading figuratively in the selling of sex, I don't know. I mean, I just found the whole little article confusing. She is partly responsible. Is she partly responsible, or is she just taking advantage of, like, is she participating in the system and trying to like get over on the system and, ooh, I'm hungry. What do I want to eat? I mean, is she responsible or is she just responsive to the system that exists? I guess she's responsible because she has a whole bunch of little 13-year-old fans. She has young little girls who are her fans. I think a lot of white girls are her fans too. Must fight, must maintain individuality. Must fight. Get out of my head. I don't know anything about the original Tesla. It's just like what I've read, fight the system. Resistance is not futile. Resistance is brilliant. Oh, I'm about to leave. I'm so hungry. All of a sudden, it just came over me. Well, what time is it? Nicki Minaj would make an interesting doll. She's interesting looking enough. Hi, Aviator. You can fight City Hall. You can fight the system. You can be an individual. I'm not going to start a I hate Ayapo campaign like you want to start a I hate Oprah campaign. Just be who you are. 5:23. Is that what time it is? Yeah. I think I ate at like 11 or 12. So I guess it's just coming on me like all of a sudden. I'm like, ooh, I'm starving. I'm hungry. I gotta go. All right, I didn't bring my cards out. So what are you looking said I was not in 73. I knew what you meant, girl. You know how they say, what's up, I see. You know how you read what you read you don't read verbatim what's there. You usually read the gist of what's there. So even if people have a typo, you usually understand exactly what they're saying. I don't even see the typo most of the time. So what are we looking forward to? What are we looking forward to? I don't even know Oprah. I guess I haven't paid enough attention. I did not start a hate Oprah campaign. I joined the one that was already in place. I mean, I like to read a good think piece, because sometimes you read something and it's like you see it and you're like, I never thought about it like that, So I don't know. Maybe I hate Oprah too, and I just don't know it. I don't know. I don't think so. But I don't know. I'm not invested. Like, I'm not like I love Oprah. Somebody said something like that earlier. Like, when I was a little girl, I would cry with Oprah. I would watch her. She would talk about like her experiences and stuff, and I would feel sad. And yeah, I like Oprah. I mean, I don't know. I grew up with Oprah. I remember when she was first advertising the show, and people were like, Oprah? That's the only thing I remember. But they were like butchering her name. That was like the joke. And that's when she was going national. All right. So this is the countdown. So anybody who has anything to say in terms of what they're looking forward to, what's new and good, what's exciting, this is the time. I'm looking forward to spending tomorrow at the beach, charging up my divine melanin. Yeah, that sounds good. I guess you're like on the Jersey Shore or something. Wow, we have that in common. I used to cry and feel sad when I saw her too. You get on my nerves. Go on somewhere. Yeah, I wish I was on the beach. Okay, so today is the best day ever. You are the greatest. Anybody else looking forward to anything? Anything exciting? Any good news? Drop it in the comments. It's all on purpose that we're here together. Nigeria plays at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Vitamin. Oh, so do I know anybody who has the kit or the t-shirts or whatever? I want to see pictures. I'm heading to Long Island, Jones Beach. You're the best, Angela. Oh, Long Island. I never went to Long Island to a beach. Jones Beach. That's deep. Yeah, when I was in New York, I never thought of it as a beachy place. Oh my God, my CEO over here with his bull skit. He like, you fab. Should I beat him up? COG, I don't know what you're talking about. But I don't condone violence unless it's a colonizer. I don't know. Do I condone? I don't know. I'm so confused, but I know I'm not confused about to go eat. And I'm so behind on my life. All right. You ready? Let me turn the volume up. Oh, violence is not the answer. Yes. Remember yesterday when we saw the you want to fight for me? Remember yesterday when we saw the somebody said something like the dogs in your neighborhood are treated good. My neighbor, his truck is being towed back, or his SUV. I don't know what it is. Y'all probably can't hear the music for all of the noise. Don't worry, I'll sing the song. Hey, hey, hey. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. My next door neighbor used to be Asian. If you ain't you, who we gonna be if we ain't he? I mean, you gonna be if you ain't you. Be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Peace. So she has a thing called Asian corned beef something. I don't know where she is, but her son is biracial. He live across the street. So I don't know if that's Asian, Chinese. I don't know if they're Chinese, they're Asian. Dude hiding behind the tree. Look, so now I want to like back up and get back on the street on the park, and he's sitting there. So I don't know if I should just leave the car here. Be fabulous you. He just left. The dude hiding behind the tree? Nah. It wasn't nobody hiding behind the tree for real. That's just my neighbor. Don't say that. All right. Today is the best day ever. Go out and enjoy it. Peace. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh no, what did I miss?